All right, so let's talk some boxing. So I watched the Canelo versus Danny Jacobs fight last night. The fight did not live up to the hype. I mean, it was a good fight, but I expected more action on both sides. Um, I had Canelo winning the fight before the fight happened because I said, Canelo is the number one fighter in all of boxing. He's the cash cow. He's the number one attraction. Signed a mega deal with DAZN, and he has the judges on his side. He has a style that's pleasing to fans and that can persuade the judges. So, in order for you to beat Canelo, you need to obliterate him. Either that or stop him, KO him. And the only guy to do that was Floyd Mayweather. And even that, a dominant performance by Floyd, you saw that even one judge had it a draw. So it's damn near impossible to beat Canelo on points. You have to completely obliterate or stop Canelo. And so I knew that before coming into the fight. And that's what happened, Not only that, you got to understand that Canelo's shortcomings is that he's a front runner. He's good the first 6 rounds, and he gasses out during the later half of the fight. You know what I'm saying? And that stamina issues has been his Achilles heel throughout his career. But what he tries to do now, he's a smarter fighter, more seasoned fighter, and he's seen more different styles now. He knows how to pace himself a little better. So the fatigue is not as obvious as it was before. So he knows how to pace himself better. He'll fight in the pocket and use lateral movement and head movement. You know what I'm saying? And that's how he paces himself. And during the first half of the fight, versus Danny Jacobs, it was a clinic. It was a damn near a shutout. I had Jacobs winning about one round. I think it was round 4, which is basically the first half of the fight. I had, Canelo winning rounds 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6, and I gave Jacobs round 4. But this guy's defense, his head movement, his lateral movement was just top notch. He was A1. He was A1. Able to slip punches, you know what I'm saying? Pivot, counter, you know what I'm saying? And basically offset the timing and the rhythm of Danny Jacobs, because Danny Jacobs was reluctant to throw a lot of punches until later on in the second half of the fight. He kind of turned it up a little bit, and also the game plan, from the start with Danny Jacobs, was his downfall. He was fighting off the back foot. You allowed Canelo, the smaller guy, to walk you down. That's not good. You're supposed to use your height and your reach. I thought, he would have a similar game plan to what when you're fighting a smaller man, you want to be the aggressor. So I thought he would have a similar game plan that Errol Spence had against Mikey Garcia, where Errol Spence was able to use his height and his reach and use his jab to control and keep Mikey Garcia at bay. That's what Danny Jacobs should have been doing. He should have been the aggressor by using his jab and keeping Canelo at bay. But I think what happened was basically Canelo's defense was so top notch that it threw off the game plan of Danny Jacobs. Danny Jacobs was trying to establish his jab, but for the most part, Canelo was able to slip his punches, slip his jab, and then counter Danny Jacobs. Go to the body, go to the head, stuff like that. And he didn't want to be countered, so therefore he was reluctant to throw a lot of punches the first half of the fight. Like I said, he kind of turned it up in the second half of the fight, but at that point it was already too late. So for me, I had Canelo winning 8-4. You can say 7-5 for the most part. As far as the judges, the two judges had it 115, 113, and 116, 112. I'm not mad at that at all. So they gave Canelo the UD. And like I said, it's really hard to beat It's damn near impossible to beat Canelo on points. Damn near impossible. You know, you saw what happened with Erislandy Lara. You know what I'm saying? That one judge with Mayweather. You know what I'm saying? The list goes on and on and on. When you have a close fight with Canelo, the judges will favor Canelo. So you got to obliterate or stop this guy. You know what I mean? But for me, man, this is strictly boxing. You know, strictly boxing. I have Canelo right now as the number one pound for pound guy in all of boxing right now. He just beat Danny Jacobs, who's a champion or was a champion, IBF. And so now they got to update this list. Now they got to put Canelo Alvarez as a unified champion in the middleweight division. He also went up to 168 and fought Rocky Fielding and got a WBA interim title, but it was basically not the actual real title. But I think it was a WBA regular title, if I'm not mistaken. A WBA regular title that Rocky Fielding was held. So basically he has, you know, a total of 4 belts in 2 different weight classes, middleweight and super middleweight. He just unified 160. He needs 1 more belt to do so. He's got to fight Demetrius Andrade for the WBO. I would love to see that fight. That's a really good fight. Real good fight. I like Andrade's style. Been a big fan of him, you know, for quite some time. What I like to see, though, is some of these PBC fighters get out the way. You know what I'm saying? And this is something else I wanted to talk about with Al Haymon and PBC. You know, these guys are, I would call Al Haymon and the PBC gatekeepers of boxing. They keep everything in-house. And they don't want to let their top fighters fight the best fighters in their division. They don't want to let, you know, they don't want to let the likes of Deontay Wilder or even a Luis Ortiz get in the ring with AJ. They'll throw lifetime changing money at these guys and they will turn the fight down because of Al Haymon's instructions. So, I mean, this guy and I used to praise Al Haymon. Y'all know me, man. I used to praise Al Haymon, give him much props. I would say, you know, Al Haymon is the most powerful black man in sports, this, that, and the third. But I gotta look at things and be unbiased and be logical about this, man. You know, this guy, he is controlling and manipulating his fighters by making sure they stay in-house. Everything is in-house. He will not let his top fighters make life-changing money. You can throw $120 million at them and they will turn it down. You could turn $6 to $7 million guaranteed money at Luis Ortiz. They would turn it down. They're talking about putting Errol Spence in there with Canelo for $20 million. And Errol didn't confirm or deny that, but he said he's not going to accept the first offer. You know, so that basically means that's a no. He's not going to fight Canelo either. I would like to see that fight as well, the Canelo fight. But I would also like to see, you know, Errol Spence get in there with Terrence Crawford. But we all know that fight's not going to happen anytime soon. You know what I mean? Because of the fact that you got one guy that's with Bob Arum, one guy with Al Haymon, who Al Haymon has the majority of the champions within boxing, and he keeps everything in house, and that's not right. You know what I mean? I'm a boxing fan first, and I want to see the best fight the best. I don't care what, you know, I don't care what advisor, promoter, manager you're with. Put the best against the best. Point blank and simple. And we're not seeing that right now because of Al Haymon and PBC. You know, obviously, like I said, everything is in-house. You will see those, the best fighters in PBC fight each other, no problem. But outside of that, no, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. So, yeah, so back to Canelo, man. I have him number one pound for pound guy, only because, again, you know, this guy has just beaten Danny Jacobs. He was a champion. He went up to 168 and fought Rocky Fielding. I know Rocky Fielding is pretty much a nobody, but he had a belt at 168. the WBA regular title. He took that. He fought Triple G twice, a draw and a majority decision. This guy is beating top-notch competition, man, and he unified the middleweight division. So I have to give Canelo right now the edge because he's the guy that's just recently unified the division. And I have Terrence Crawford number 2. But yeah, I got Canelo at number 1. It's pound for pound, the best fighter in the world. You know what I'm saying? I would like to see Canelo in there with a couple of guys, to be honest with you, man. And it's got to be some guys that make sense. I would definitely like to see him fight Demetrius Andrade, but he may end up fighting Triple G a third time this year. I wouldn't be surprised if that fight happens this year. I still give Canelo the edge in that fight, even though Triple G got a new trainer. So Canelo can get in there with another Triple G rematch. Demetrius Andrade, I would like to see him fight Jamar Charlo. Jamar Charlo is, for all the PBC fanboys and the Jamar Charlo fans, the display, the boxing level that Canelo put on against Danny Jacobs, okay, he would wipe the floor with Jamar Charlo. Wipe the floor. And this would show you that Jamal is nowhere near on Canelo's level. Nowhere near. But I would still like to see that fight. Just to shut up all these goddamn Jamar, Charlo, and PBC fanboys. I would love to see that fight. And Canelo can move up to 168 and fight these guys too. He can fight pretty much anybody. Even Gilberto Ramirez. I would like to see him fight him. I mean, anybody. Caleb Smith, Caleb Plant, Billy Joe Saunders, all those guys. It's going to be some really good fights. Some really good fights. So I'm looking forward to see what Canelo has next. I think, again, he'll be fighting Triple G in a trilogy. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be surprised if that fight is next after Golovkin fights this guy. I think his name is Roll. He's fighting another guy in the next couple of weeks or so with this new trainer. So we'll see what he has on deck with his new trainer, Jonathan Williams, who's a former trainer of Vitaly Klitschko. So, yeah, family. I mean, those are my thoughts about what's going on in boxing. Just wanted to give you guys my commentary on that. If you've seen the fight between Canelo and Danny Jacobs, leave your comments down below. Let me know what you guys thought of that fight, who you had winning. You know what I'm saying? All that good stuff, family. So until next time, those are my thoughts about that. Leave your comments down below. Chauncey signing out. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at GMOGMediaTV. Till next time, Chauncey signing out. Peace.